Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Heroes of Effective Giving. I'm here with Pete Livingstone, who will share about his reasons for getting involved in effective giving. So, Pete, can you please share with folks how you define effective giving and what makes you passionate about it?
Sure. Well, I think I define effective giving as trying to match my values and ideals with helping other people in the most effective and impactful way that I can. So, for instance, I really value my physical health and well being, also my mental and emotional and financial well being. So, if I can help people improve their life, those areas of their lives, then I get a lot of satisfaction. And there's lots of different ways of doing it. And I tend to be a real kind of analytical, evidence-based person. So when I really found out about, the whole concept of effective giving through really looking at the data and seeing how somebody can be most impactful, then that really kind of fascinated me.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. So that segues well into the next question I want to ask, which is what's your story of getting involved in effective giving? What did you do about it in the past? How did you get involved in it?
Well, I consider myself pretty fortunate in life. I spent a career as an engineer mostly, and I was able to retire at a pretty fairly young age. And I just started thinking about how I could give back really to the world, with not only financially, but with my time as well. Um, I've really, even though I was an engineer, since I was really a child, I've had kind of an interest in financial markets and financial planning. So that started as a young age, and it helped me really get to the point where I'm in the position I'm in now. So then, a kind of a natural spin off of that was, well, now that I have a little bit of money, enough to be free and uh, spend my time the way I want to, how can I use that and give back?
Cool. And so you're giving back now, and that gets to the next question of what exactly are you doing right now to give back and give effectively?
Well, initially, upon my retirement, I started donating or started volunteering my time. As I mentioned, I was kind of have an interest in finances, and I've always done my own taxes. Had my grandfather who was an accountant, and he was a big influence on me growing up. So I started to volunteer as a income tax preparer, to help out lower income and elderly people do their taxes and benefit as much as they could. Um, and I also, as I mentioned, I really value my own health and physical fitness. So to that end, I started volunteering on a search and rescue team. I live in New Mexico in kind of a harsh environment, mountains and desert. And there are people who really get in trouble when they get out and get lost. So that was a way I could see I could, help other people with my time. Uh, and then I kind of started thinking about my finances. And as I'm getting older, what's the best way to help out with financially? And I've thought about the extremes from just not donating anything now, just hanging on to what I have and investing and trying to make that grow, leaving more money later on versus the other extreme, just donate more and more money, maybe have to go back to work, trying to find a balance there. What's the best thing I can do? So I'm still kind of, doing a little bit of research on that, to the most effective charities and, how I can balance that out for the rest of my life.
So that gets to the question of what do you plan to do for the rest of your life? I know one of the things you told me about is that you took the Giving What We Can pledge, and you can share that about that with folks, what that means to you. But basically, what do you want to do for the rest of your life, and what kind of an impact do you want to make in the world through your effective giving?
Well, I think I've been pretty successful just using evidence and science and good rational decision making through my life. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes and have learned from them, but I'm kind of sometimes amazed at, or maybe not amazed, but just disappointed when I see people who have certain goals and they're just making decisions that are just really, I think they know that they're poor choices, and they don't really they don't see it, or they just don't see very far into the future. And really, I'd like to help people understand that making some good decisions or better decisions to help them reach their goals is not that difficult. For instance, in finances and investing, I think a lot of people just think it's a lot more complicated and risky than it is. But if you really boil it down, it can be pretty simple. If you can learn to just save a little more money than you make, live conservatively, invest in some simple kind of systematic way, and you don't have to make a ton of money, but you can, after enough years, you can be pretty financially stable. So I think really I'd like to kind of impart that on people, that just by using good good sound logic and reason, and thinking about their future a little bit, they can really improve their lives, or at least give themselves a better probability of improving their lives.
Thank you for sharing that. And that sounds like a really good message for people to take away, and a good message for people to impart that can really help a lot of folks have better lives and be more effective givers themselves if they have money. Well, this was the Everyday Heroes of Effective Giving series from Intentional Insights, and I'm really glad that Pete Livingstone was able to join us and share about his experience. Till next time, everyone, bye-bye.